One of the adventurers is astounded by Jin-Huk's remarkable feat in single-handedly vanquishing a kobold. Furthermore, the observer notices Jin-Huk's mastery in the mage class. A climber approaches Jin-Huk and suggests joining forces. Jin-Huk responds with a menacing tone, instructing them to depart, which takes the climbers by surprise. Continuing his stance, Jin-Huk warns them that any contact with the kobolds will lead to fatal consequences. Trembling in fear, the two climbers hastily flee for their lives. Subsequently, as two kobolds advance to attack Jin-Huk, he employs his staff skillfully, delivering a lethal blow to one of them. With a menacing glare, he challenges the remaining kobold, questioning its intentions. The kobold, deciding to escape, is met with Jin-Huk's relentless pursuit. A magical arrow unleashed by Jin-Huk puts an end to the kobold's flight, extinguishing its life. The system materializes, extending a welcoming greeting to Jin-Huk on the first floor. However, Jin-Huk expresses his disappointment, informing the system that he is presently occupied with looting. The system then presents him with a quest involving the extermination of 10 kobolds, a task that Jin-Huk finds undemanding. Jin-Huk elucidates that by defeating a particular type of monster repeatedly, one attains the prestigious title of a slayer. He reveals that his past self had diligently pursued these slayer achievements. Addressing his hunger, Jin-Huk employs gluttony, siphoning the essence of life from the kobold. This grants him access to the creature's memories and strengths, while also enabling him to comprehend the language of the kobold. Upon scrutinizing his statistics, Jin-Huk is impressed by their advancement, equating them to those of a climber on the 10th floor. Delving into the memories of the kobold, he discovers the existence of the Kobold Lord. Filled with excitement, Jin-Huk perceives the timing of this revelation as serendipitous. He explains that a Lord monster heralds an impending wave of monsters. Jin-Huk realizes he can achieve his Slayer goal while simultaneously farming by defeating this Lord. Recognizing the necessity of an army to face the wave, he reanimates the fallen kobolds, transforming them into skeleton soldiers. The system commends his successful class change to a Necromancer, acknowledging his Alem status and past life memories that make class changing effortless. Yet Jin-Huk remains unsatisfied, knowing there is a concealed class he must attain on the first floor. Observing the trembling kobolds, a skeleton informs Jin-Huk of their fear upon witnessing their king's transformation. Jin-Huk orders the skeletons to eliminate any kobold they encounter. Carrying a blue stone and accompanied by his skeletal battalion, he arrives at a secluded location he sought, a small house nestled within the forest. Upon entering, he expresses gratitude for its undisturbed state, asking the soldiers to wait outside. Jin-Huk ventures deeper into the house, uncovering a hidden staircase beneath the floor. As he descends, he elucidates the presence of a significant class on the first floor, a Necromancer, a high-ranking mage utilizing souls known as a Spirit Master. The first Spirit Master concealed within this place is Vulcan, a Necromancer indicated by the class-changing coffin. Upon opening the coffin, a skeletal figure emerges, suspended in the air. The skeleton inquires of Jin-Huk if he is his descendant. Vulcan is taken aback by Jin-Huk's nonchalant demeanor and inquires if Jin-Huk isn't surprised to see him considering Vulcan's attempt to appear spectacular. Jin-Huk retorts that a Necromancer shouldn't be astonished by the sight of a skeleton. He clarifies that he arrived here after perusing Vulcan's journal and is past the point of surprise. This journal, a concealed item titled Journal of Spirit Master Vulcan, was not read in this lifetime but during the period when he lost his worth upon changing his class to a mage. He explains he came back to the first floor after discovering the journal and upon becoming a Spirit Master, struggled unsuccessfully to summon Vulcan. Vulcan expresses his fondness for Jin-Huk, noting his superiority compared to a discourteous individual from a decade earlier. Irritated by Vulcan's criticism of his past life, Jin-Huk contemplates whether he should eliminate him. However, he decides to overlook it and focuses on completing his class change. Jin-Huk informs Vulcan of his desire to change his class swiftly. Vulcan apologizes and explains that Jin-Huk must first reach the 10th floor, as Spirit Master is a higher-ranking class than even Necromancer. He reveals that Jin-Huk needs to undergo a second class change in the class-changing tower on the 10th floor before he can proceed. Jin-Huk interjects, revealing his status as a Necromancer through his stats. Vulcan is astounded by Jin-Huk's self-driven class change without ascending to the 10th floor. He acknowledges Jin-Huk's prominence and skill, comparing him favorably to the punk from Jin-Huk's past life. Annoyed, Jin-Huk urges Vulcan to facilitate his class change. Vulcan chuckles and generates a surge of energy around them. Jin-Huk then recounts the backstory of Vulcan, a climber of immense power who sought to surpass his abilities. Vulcan, dissatisfied with conventional summons, aspired to summon a soul, leading him to create the Spirit Master class. Fortunately, his physical body and the Spirit Master class neared extinction, leading Vulcan to employ necromancy on himself, with the hope that his descendant would restore his honor. Thus, Vulcan transformed into a half-NPC figure, serving as a guide for future climbers. Vulcan, impressed by Jin-Huk's aura, provides instructions on using the Soul Crucible to capture souls and consequently summon entities. Jin-Huk contemplates capturing Vulcan with the Soul Crucible, his preparations already complete. Vulcan commends Jin-Huk as his descendant and urges him to ascend the tower and spread his name. With a sly smile, Jin-Huk points to Vulcan, telling him to undertake this task personally. Confused and disappointed, Vulcan questions Jin-Huk's assertion. In an outburst, Vulcan refers to him as a bastard and inquires about the promise written in the journal. Standing resolutely, Jin-Huk asserts that shoving responsibilities onto others is a negative trait. He promises to resolve the matter for free, unsettling Vulcan. In a menacing manner, Jin-Huk activates Soul Collection, causing Vulcan's soul to be drawn from his skeletal form. Vulcan struggles and defiantly gestures, refusing to be captured. Jin-Huk's satisfaction grows as a magic barrier encloses Vulcan, creating a personal prison. Jin-Huk asks if Vulcan is comfortable and explains that this magic wall is a basic spell, a customized prison for Vulcan. As Vulcan protests, Jin-Huk interrupts, revealing that he had previously scattered cobalt mana stones on his journey here. He casts magic to activate them just as he has done now. While Vulcan can easily break the low-level magic, he questions whether he can do so before Jin-Huk captures him. Vulcan ponders who this man is trapped in his grasp, marveling at the skill and tactics of a first-floor climber. Removing his hood, Jin-Huk discloses his identity and asserts that although he failed in his past life, he can now capture Vulcan with confidence. Jin-Huk declares himself the second spirit master, perhaps even the third. Vulcan comprehends the dire situation, recognizing Jin-Huk and shouting his name. Without hesitation, Jin-Huk activates his skill soul collection, absorbing Vulcan's soul thoroughly. Left with an empty skeleton, Jin-Huk assures Vulcan that everything he yearned for will come to fruition now that he is with him.